Let's stop pretending. Right now. That thing parked in your garage taking up two spaces and blocking the kitchen door, that is not a work tool. That is not a strategic asset. That is a $90,000 emotional support security blanket made of 3 tons of steel, military-grade aluminum, and Italian leather. You bought it because the modern world makes you feel small. Your boss yells at you in a glass-walled room. Inflation crushes your purchasing power. The government treats you like a number. You spend your day moving pixels on a screen without building anything real. You feel powerless. So what do? You go to the dealership and buy the biggest, tallest, and loudest machine your approved credit allows. You climb into the cab, which sits 7 feet off the ground. You close the door, and the world outside disappears. For 20 minutes in morning traffic, you feel like the captain of your destiny. You look down at the lesser men in their sedans and compacts, and you feel a thrill of power. I am big. I am capable. I could drive over that curb if I wanted to. But guess what, soldier? The bank is the captain. The manufacturer is the admiral. And you are just the rower in the galley paying the fuel bill. You are not a rancher. You are not a heavy construction contractor. You are an account manager, a systems analyst, an insurance salesman. You are a pavement princess. I am Buck, and today my mission is painful but necessary. We are going to dismantle the most expensive lie of modern masculinity, the idea that you can buy respect in 72 monthly installments of $1,300. Let's dissect the anatomy of this financial disaster. At some point in the last decade, the American auto industry pulled off the greatest marketing heist in history. They convinced middle-class men working in climate-controlled offices that the only way to keep their man card was by buying heavy industrial equipment designed to tow horse trailers and haul lumber. They took your insecurity, packaged it in a front grille that looks like a shark's mouth, put mud tires on it that have never seen mud, and sold it to you for a price that would give your grandfather a heart attack. Let's run the numbers. And I'm warning you, the math is offensive. The average price of a full-size pickup or truck chassis SUV in 2026 has hit $65,000. But you don't want the average. The average is for the phone company's fleet. You want the high country, the platinum, the TRX, the limited version, the ones with ventilated massaging seats, panoramic sunroofs, and 19-speaker sound systems. You're looking at $85,000 to $110,000. The median American income is $84,000. You are driving an asset worth more than you earn in an entire year of life. You work from January to December, wake up early, eat dirt, sit in traffic, just to pay for the privilege of having the vehicle that takes you to that job. It is a perfect cycle of circular slavery. The salesman sits you at the table. He offers you an espresso. He calls you boss or chief. He massages your ego while preparing the lethal injection for your budget. He shows you the payment, $1,247. Over 84 months, it's smooth, he says. It's an investment in your safety. 7 years. You will be paying for this truck until 2033. In 2033, this truck will be an old bucket, out of warranty, leaking oil, and you will still be paying for it as if it were new. But you sign, because the smell of new man is intoxicating. Now, let's go to the real world, away from the dealership's air conditioning, where the bleeding starts and your wealth dies. 1. The fuel cost, the macho tax. These monsters drink, and they drink a lot. It is basic physics. You're trying to move a brick building against the wind at 70 miles per hour. They promise 18 miles per gallon on the highway, but you don't drive on the highway. You drive in traffic, stop and go, taking the kids to school, waiting in the drive-thru. The reality is 10, 12 miles per gallon. A modern sedan or hybrid crossover gets 35, 40. If you drive the average of 15,000 miles a year, with gas at $3.50, you are spending $4,300 a year on fuel. The sedan guy spends $1,500. You are burning $233 extra per month. You work the first few hours of your Monday just to pay for the week's gas. 2. The insurance scam. Big vehicles are safe, you say. For you, maybe. For the insurance company, they are a liability nightmare. If you crash, you destroy the other car. And the parts? An LED headlight on your spaceship costs $3,000 to replace. A bumper sensor costs $1,000. A windshield with camera calibration costs $1,500. Insurance for a luxury pickup or large SUV in 2026 is costing, on average, $80 to $100 more per month than an equivalent passenger car. Add that to the bill. 3. The tire mafia. You looked at those huge tires at the dealership and thought, wow, how rugged, I can climb Everest. Wait until you have to change them. Truck tires, especially 20 or 22-inch rims, or aggressive off-road ones, cost between $300 and $500 each. A new set costs $2,000. And they last less because the vehicle weighs 3 tons and eats rubber on hot asphalt. In a sedan, a set costs $600 and lasts 50,000 miles. Amortize that and you have another monthly fee of $100 invisible dollars leaving your pocket. 4. The vanity tax, registration. Many states charge annual registration, tags, based on the vehicle's value or weight. On a $90,000 truck, your registration can hit $1,200 a year. Add $80 a month. The real cost of vanity, payment, $1,250. Extra gas, $233. Extra insurance, $80 extra tires / maintenance, $150 extra. Registration, $80, total monthly cost of the Pavement Princess, $1,793. $1,800. Every single month. That is more than many people's mortgage. That is more than rent for a 2-bedroom apartment. You are driving a second house, but this house loses value every day, drinks gas, rusts, and doesn't give you shelter when it rains. And here's the final stab, the interest. On a $90,000 loan at 7% for 84 months, you don't pay $90,000. You pay $24,000 just in interest. $24,000. You could buy a brand new economy car in cash with just the money you gave as a gift to the bank. You worked months of your life for free so the banker could buy his yacht. Now, let's do the exercise that hurts. The opportunity cost. Let's imagine Universe B, the universe where you didn't need to compensate for anything, the universe where your self-esteem doesn't depend on your tire size. In that universe, you bought a reliable, boring, used sedan for $30,000. Your payment is $400, your insurance is half, your gas is a third, tires cost nothing. You save, on average, $1,000 a month compared to the truck. If you take those $1,000 and invest in an S&P 500 index fund, historical return of 10% for the same 7 years of the loan, do you know how much you would have? $118,000. Liquid. In your account. In Universe A, truck, after 7 years you have an old high-mileage, out-of-style truck worth maybe $35,000 and zero in the account. In Universe B, sedan, you have an old car worth $10,000 and $118,000 in cash. The net worth difference between the two choices is almost $100,000. You didn't buy a truck. You took $100,000 from your family's future, threw it in a bonfire in the backyard, and lit a match. Also, strangers in traffic would think you are tough. They don't think that. They think you are an idiot taking up 2 spots at the mall parking lot. But Buck, what if I need it? What if I have to move a couch? What if the apocalypse happens? This is the favorite lie. The what if? It is fear marketing. Let's be rational. Go to your vehicle right now. Open the tailgate or the giant trunk. Run your finger along the bed. If your finger comes up clean, there is no grease, dirt, cement, fish blood, or sawdust. I have bad news. You don't have a truck. You have a giant open-air trunk that ruins your groceries when it rains. How many times a year do you actually use the cargo capacity for something that wouldn't fit in a normal SUV? 4 times? 5? You can rent a pickup at Home Depot or U-Haul for $29 a day. 5 times a year times $30 is $150. You're paying $20,000 a year to save $150 in rental fees. This is the definition of financial stupidity. You are maintaining an entire logistics fleet worthy of a construction company for a demand of 5 days a year. And there is the deeper psychological aspect, the blue-collar cosplay. There is an identity crisis in the modern man. We don't hunt anymore, we don't build anymore, we don't fight anymore. So we play dress-up. You put on the Red Wing boots that never stepped on a job site. You wear the plaid flannel shirt that cost $100 at the mall. And you buy the heavy-duty truck. It is a fantasy. It is theater. You are trying to signal virtues of hard work and physical competence while your hands are soft and your back hurts from sitting in the Herman Miller chair. The auto industry knows this. They study your psychology in a lab. They know you feel castrated by the corporate world. The truck is the promise of returning to the real world. Buy this and you will be capable. You will be strong. You will be a survivor. It is a lie. You are strong if you have control over your impulses. You are capable if you have financial freedom to take care of your family without depending on the job you hate. Driving a tank to get milk doesn't make you a warrior. It makes you an easy target for predatory marketing. And the worst part? The Diderot effect. When you buy a $90,000 vehicle, the rest of your life looks cheap. You can't step out of that spaceship wearing a plastic watch. You need the titanium smartwatch. You can't use the $10 styrofoam cooler. You need the $400 Yeti cooler that keeps ice for 10 days, even though you only go to the city park. You need the tactical glasses, the survival knife. The vehicle demands that the rest of your life levels up in price. It is a black hole of consumption that sucks every cent of margin you had. But here's where I want to stop shouting and start training you. I'm not just a grumpy old man who hates trucks. I'm a strategist. And I want you to make decisions like a general, not like a dazzled recruit. There is no magic formula. There is no never buy. But there is a decision protocol. Before signing that 80-month contract, I want you to run your decision through this 3-step filter. If the vehicle doesn't pass this, it is not an asset. It is a ticking time bomb. Buck's Decision Protocol. 1. The 50% rule, the motor's ratio. This is the golden rule that millionaires use and poor people ignore. The total value of everything with a motor in your house, your cars, motorcycles, boats, jet skis, must not exceed 50% of your gross annual income. If you earn $80,000 a year, the maximum combined value of your vehicles is $40,000. Period. If you earn $80,000 and have a $90,000 truck, you are mathematically bankrupt. You are a slave to the metal. You are working more for the car than for yourself. If you don't pass the 50% rule, the conversation is over. Buy a $15,000 Corolla and go be happy. 2. The gray man test. In tactical operations, there is a concept called the gray man. It is the operator who blends in. He doesn't draw attention. He is invisible. Driving a $100,000 truck, lifted, loud, is the opposite of that. You become a target. You are a target for thieves. You are a target for the police. You are a target for gold diggers. But mainly, you are a target for your own vanity. When you drive an invisible car, the boring sedan, nobody expects anything from you. You have freedom. Ask yourself, am I buying this to be seen or to move? If the answer is to be seen, you are paying an ego tax of $2,000 a month. That is too expensive a tax for someone who wants to be free. 3. The real utility matrix, the 20% test. Be brutally honest. Will you use the specific capabilities of this vehicle, towing more than 2 tons or driving on terrain where a normal car would get stuck, for at least 20% of the total mileage? If you drive 15,000 miles, will you drive 3,000 miles towing or in the mud? If the answer is no, you are buying the wrong tool. It is like buying an industrial jackhammer to hang a picture in the living room. Does it work? Yes, but it is heavy, expensive, loud, and ridiculous. The hammer does the job better, faster, and cheaper. The sedan is the hammer. The pickup is the jackhammer. But Buck, I like it. I worked hard. I deserve it. I know you deserve it. You deserve peace. You deserve retirement. You deserve no debt. The question isn't deserving. The question is consequence. If you have millions in the bank, if your house is paid off, if your kids have college secured, buy the tank. Buy two. Put horns on the hood. Have fun. But if you are financing, you don't deserve to go into debt. Nobody deserves to be a slave. So, what is the way out? How do you escape this mental and financial trap? Scenario 1. If you already have the Pavement Princess in the garage and are drowning, sell. But Buck, I'll lose money. I owe more than it's worth. I have negative equity. I know, it hurts. It is the price of the lesson. It is the fine for being vain. But let's do the cold math. If you owe 60 and the truck is worth 50, you have a $10,000 hole. It is better to take a personal loan of $10,000 to cover the difference, pay a small payment of $200 for that loan, and get rid of the $1,800 payment than to continue bleeding for 5 more years. Stop the bleeding. Swallow your pride. Your pride is what got you into this situation. Don't let it keep you there. Buy a $5,000 car if you need to. Take an Uber, but get out of the contract. Scenario 2. If you are thinking about buying, stop, breathe. Look at your bank statement. Apply the 50% rule. Apply the gray man test. If you don't pass, buy the boring sedan. Buy the car nobody looks at. Buy the invisible car. Do you know why? Because the money left over buys real things. It buys your paid-off house. It buys your children's college without debt. It buys your retirement 15 years early. It buys your freedom to tell your boss to go to hell if he disrespects you, because you have money in the bank and don't need the job to pay for the truck. That is real power. Power is not having a V8 engine. Power is having options. When your friend shows up with his new metal beast and jokes about your car, "Hey, did you buy that toy car?" Smile. The calm smile of someone who knows the truth. You know he is working for the car. The car is his owner. He wakes up Monday morning terrified because he needs to pay the bill. You know your car works for you. It is just a cheap tool that gets you from point A to point B while your money grows in the bank with compound interest. This is real masculinity, the ability to make difficult, logical, and strategic decisions, ignoring peer pressure and billion-dollar marketing. The Pavement Princess is a golden trap. It is a cage of leather and steel. Do not enter it, and if you are in it, break the bars today. But pay attention to what I'm going to tell you now, because this is more important than any truck or sedan. The vehicle you drive is just a symptom. It is the fever, not the infection. The real infection is the lack of daily operational discipline. You don't go broke all at once. Nobody wakes up in the morning and decides to ruin their life. You go broke little by little. You go broke the day you decide to finance the car. You go broke the day you decide to buy the $7 coffee because you deserve it. You go broke the day you decide not to negotiate your salary out of fear. You go broke the day you decide not to invest because it's too little money. These are micro defeats. And just like rust eats the steel of your truck slowly until the chassis breaks, these micro defeats eat your wealth until you are 60 years old with nothing in the bank. Most people live their financial life on autopilot. They hope to get rich. They have vague plans for the future. One day I'll organize my finances. One day I'll sell the car. One day I'll start investing. The problem is that one day is not a day of the week. That day never comes. To win the financial war, you don't need luck. You don't need to win the lottery. You need orders. You need to wake up in the morning and know exactly what the mission of the day is. You need to switch from autopilot to manual command. An elite sniper doesn't hit the target 2 kilometers away by luck. He hits it because he controls his breathing, controls his posture, controls the wind, and controls the trigger. Small details, executed perfectly, generate a massive result. Your financial life is the same. If you sell the truck today, but don't change your mindset, in 2 years you will be in debt with something else. Maybe a boat, maybe a home renovation. You need to rewrite the source code of your behavior. That is why I didn't create a course where you watch classes passively and forget everything the next week. I created a field manual, a daily combat protocol. The order of the day: 365 high-impact orders for financial sovereignty. Imagine waking up tomorrow and instead of anxiety, having a clear mission. Day 1, identify and eliminate the vampire debt that is draining $50 from your budget without you seeing. Day 14, the exact script to call your car insurance company and reduce the premium by 20% in 10 minutes. Day 45, the psychological tactic to walk into a store and walk out without buying anything you don't need, beating their marketing. Day 112, how to calculate your real cost of living and find out how much freedom time you really have. These are small victories. But what happens when you stack 365 small victories? You become invincible. You create what we call tactical momentum. At the end of the year, you haven't just saved money, you changed who you are. You stop being the passive consumer that Ford and Apple love and become the sovereign commander that banks fear. The manual is not for those who want to get rich quick. That is a fairy tale. The manual is for those who want to get rich forever. It is for those who understand that freedom is not a destination, it is a daily practice. It is the sum of the decisions you make when no one is looking. If you are tired of being a victim of marketing, if you are tired of working to pay interest, if you want your money to buy your life back piece by piece, day after day, the link to the manual. The order of the day is in the first pinned comment below. Do not look at the price of this manual as an expense. Expense is the depreciation your truck suffered just while you watched this video. Expense is the interest on your credit card. This is the ammo missing from your gun. It is the map to get out of the minefield. You have two choices now. You can close this video, get into your giant truck, turn on the radio, and pretend everything is fine, while financial rust eats your future. Or you can click the link, get your first order of the day, and start the march toward total sovereignty. The choice is yours. But remember, not choosing is also a choice. And it is the choice that keeps you poor. I am Buck. Sell the tank, buy freedom, execute the order. I'll see you in the trenches.